Welcome to another technique. Well, April is a National Serger month, so I wanted to do my technique for today to be something with the sergers. And one of the cool things with the sergers is that we can use all kinds of pretty threads. Much of those heavier ones that we couldn't easily use in a sewing machine, we can put in a serger loopers. And this is another one of those techniques that I like doing. I'm making tassels. So this one is done with the cover stitch. This is done with the overlock stitch for the rolled hem. This one I use a little bit decorative metallic thread, and I put some beads for the weight on this end of the bag. On this one is a background rayon in an upper looper. And I often make a whole bunch of it, and then I can use it later on. Maybe use a whole spool and just do it at one time. If you want to have a little bit more body for the tassel, you can also use the fishing line inside of it. This one inside I have a fishing line, so it is a little bit more wiry. If you use the fishing line, you will use the elastic foot. But today's technique, I'm gonna show how can we sew beads into the tassel. In this serger technique pack, I have in the center front, I have a flower that all it is, it's a strip of silk dupioni that has been beaded using the serger rolled hem, and I used the snazzy lock thread in the upper looper for a little extra glitter. But that was serged right at the edge of the piece of strip of fabric, gathered, rolled around, put a little button in the middle, and then it was sewn on the middle of the bag. So what kind of beads can we use? Well, really doesn't matter what kind of beads they are, because they go in a fishing line and we're not really sewing over them. Yes, there is another technique where we can put the shrunk beads, something like this one's on this roll. We could put the shrunk beads, but that's another technique. I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to do individual beads. And I have put some of those examples on table. There were just some things from my stash that I had. All kinds of different kinds of beads. And it doesn't really matter what kind of bead it is. And how this one starts is we will put all the beads what we want into a fishing line first. So I just have the roll on my desk, and then I will be stitching. Well, the stitch I'm using is the rolled hem, and I have a little bit heavier, not really heavy this time, just a 12 weight cotton in the upper looper, and only serger threads in the right needle and my lower looper. So heavier your thread is on the upper looper, heavier your stitching is gonna look like. This one was done just without the beads, so I used the elastic foot, because the elastic foot has spaces where I can weave the fishing line and it'll keep it in place. We can't use that with the beads because the beads don't go through that one. So in this time we need to use something else. We could use the standard foot or clear foot, but if you have the 8-thread serger, the best one is the cover chain foot. Kind of odd, we're not doing cover stitch. The reason this one works great is because we have more space on the hold on the line. Yes, we had to manually guide it this time. And I have also locked a knife because I don't want my knife this time to cut off my fishing line. So let me get started. So I'm gonna first lay my fishing line just a bit onto the right side of the needle, and I'm gonna put it right over that stitch finger, the last stitch finger, and I'm gonna do a few stitches to get started. So here's my starting point. Then how to get the bead in, and I put some kind of a bigger beads that they will show a little bit better in the camera. So that now this time I'm gonna take this bead and I'm gonna take it as a loop, and let me lift that loop out of the way. So I'm gonna take this bead and take it behind. I'm making like a little loop over that one. So now I'm gonna sew another section. So my bead is hanging off the edge, but because it's on a fishing line and it is very slippery, I can just pull it nicely tuck. So let me take the next bead, and that's the reason why your beads had to go onto the fishing line first. And that's the reason also why we can't use the elastic foot. Now here we go, the next one, and I will just pull it back. After you get working this a little while, it goes pretty fast. Let me pull it back a bit, maybe put one more, and then I'll show you how this looks like. One more large bead. Again, the size and shape of the beads don't matter. They could be charms also. Yeah. Let me show you how this one looks like. So here we have, I put 4 different beads, if my beginning threads wouldn't get all tangled up. Notice I didn't do any test on my serger. All I did, I set it for the rolled hem and started stitching right on the camera. I didn't even do test. That's the cool thing about the baby lock sergers with the automatic thread delivery. All I had to do is thread it, and that's just a push of a button. And then I'll set my settings where I want, and I'm ready to go. So here we go. There's 4 beads just done like that one. What if I wanted to add it in the edge of the fabric? Like on that little flower that I had on my back. I can put the fabric, and this is just a cotton fabric, so I folded it in half. And now I'm gonna take, I think I have some more beads. I'm gonna take a bead, not all of them, just one at a time. And then just we just show a little bit right on the edge first. And then I will take my next bead, put it over, and whatever distance I saw between will be the distance of the beads. On that flower on my back, I put them about half an inch apart. So that's why I got 100 beads on that one. And after a little while, it goes pretty fast. Let me do a couple more, and then I can show the finished sample. But it's just a cool thing, some of these things that we can do in the sergers very easily. And then I think I have a couple more. Oh, actually I have multiples here, but let me put one big one there now. I just took a variety of different beads. Oh, and my apple looper is going on the way. Let me move it out. So now it's still, my apple looper is still kind of too far on the way. I try to go fast, and then never works that way. So this is just an easy way. May take just a little bit practice. If your fabric that like I have a fold on this one, so I'm not even intending to cut the edge. But if you have a fabric that is a raw edge, like on that my flower on my back, it was just a single layer of silk to peony. That one I used a knife, but then you have to be very careful not to get your knife where the fishing line is. I'm almost at the edge. Oh, and if I want it, I can take 2 beads. Let me do these last 3 beads that I have. I'm gonna do them as a little cluster together, because really doesn't matter the size of the beads or how many I put. And let me cut this one. So here we have the last one. I put a little cluster of the beads. But those different beads are right nicely on the edge of the folded fabric, so that would make really pretty ruffle. And those are the beads at just on the wire itself. So have fun!